Okay, good morning. The parole board's called to order. They can't hear us. Y'all on mute. He's steady explaining stuff. Need to unmute. Well, I heard him. Ask them 600. Talk again. Turn it up. Turn it up. We can hear you real low.
They can't turn that.
There's nobody in there with you?
No, sir. The guard.
I can hear you good now. That's good. That's good. You can have a seat.
The mayor. Can I stand up? Yeah, I'm with you. Can I stand up?
Yeah, as long as we can see your face, that's good. Okay, we're here today. We're at Grant Parish Detention Center. The parole board is called to order. It's 8:48. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm the acting chair. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. With staff at headquarters, please introduce yourself.
Francis Abbott.
Is there any staff in the room at Grant Parish? You by yourself?
Yes, sir.
No, right here.
Sergeant Hunter Gone for Grant Parish.
Sergeant. Okay, has he given you any problems since he's been in there, Sergeant?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you for having us today. We're going to proceed with the hearing. Okay, Mr. Perry, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Jonathan Wayne Perry, 518441.
Do you have your parole questionnaire?
No, sir, I don't got one.
Okay, please put one up on the screen and we'll see if that's your signature. Is that your signature on the form?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That form said you were not eligible for appointed counsel. Do you wish to hire your counsel?
No, sir, I just want to speak for myself.
Okay, so you're gonna proceed today. Okay. Mr. Perry, you don't have anybody here speaking on your behalf. I'm gonna be your hearing officer. So I'm gonna lead it off. I'll read you a condition. You plead guilty or not guilty with or without a statement. And at the proper time, I'll ask you questions and you can explain to me what happened, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got violation condition number 4 on 3/26/25. You were arrested by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office for domestic abuse battery. On 4/2/25, the domestic abuse charge was dismissed by the Jefferson Parish District Attorney's Office. How do you plead to that charge?
Yes, sir, I was arrested on it. Yes, sir. I was arrested on it. It got dismissed.
Okay, but you plead not guilty then?
What you mean plead not guilty? I'm pleading, I got the charge. I did get the charge. But
All
he
right,
did get.
gotta plead guilty or not guilty. Did you do the domestic battery or not?
No, sir. No, sir. That's why I got dismissed by the judge.
Okay, so you plead not guilty to that one.
Yes,
And
sir.
you're currently $432 in arrears in your supervision fees. How do you plead to that charge?
Yes, sir. I've been in jail. I've been staying in jail, sir. That's why I ain't paid up. I did
Okay.
90 days out for 2 months and I came right back for 90 days.
Okay, what was that 90 days for?
It was me and my brother-in-law didn't see eye to eye and they got me for verbal aggravated battery and they ended up dropping it to a disturbing the peace. The same thing this one should have been.
Okay. All right. So that was the one, did you have a machete in that instance?
No, but it was a machete at my sister's house and they did get a machete from behind the house.
Okay, so did you use the machete at all or did he have the machete? Who had the machete?
It was just at my sister's house in the back room.
Okay. Yeah, they said that you went after your brother, her brother, and Marion Carter. Devin Walker and Marion Carter. So okay. All right.
She came up with a charge on me. She just said it didn't happen.
Okay. All right. And What about the domestic abuse battery charge? Tell me about that.
Sir, me and my mama got in an argument we had just moved in a trailer. Me and my mama got in an argument. She was on the wrong medicine. We got in an argument one morning and the police got called and they came over there and they got me because of domestic violence. I wouldn't say that, talk to them, and they got me for domestic violence, but it should have been, the judge dropped it. The judge seen there wasn't no bodily harm, there wasn't nothing that went on, and the judge ended up dropping it, but he did stick me with the possession of marijuana.
Okay, and then, so did you hit her?
No, sir.
Well, why was she noticeably beaten and bleeding and had red bruises?
Sir, if they would have had bruises, they would have arrested, they wouldn't have dropped it in court.
Okay, but this was the officer saying that she had all of this.
That's what I'm saying. The judge.
Sometimes they drop it in court because the witness won't show up to testify.
Yes, sir. Why did I just want to talk to her on the phone. She don't know how to set up the interview, but I just want to talk to her on the phone. I would be getting out of here. If I beat on her, you know what I'm saying? If I would have beat my mom or something, the charge wouldn't have got dropped. I did not. It was an argument. And that's all it was an argument. The judge dropped it. And that's all I can do is pray that y'all go with the judge's decision. I can't, that's all I can do is ask y'all. But no, sir, it was no beatings or nothing like that.
Do you have any other questions?
I have no questions. He answered.
How about you,
Yeah, what said.
Okay, because I'm just reading what your mother said. She stated Preston became irate, grabbed her, choked her with one hand around her neck and threw her onto the bedroom floor. She also advised that while she was being choked, she had trouble talking but did not lose consciousness. She also advised their 4-year-old daughter was sitting in the living room at the time of the argument.
Who was sitting in the living room? There wasn't nobody in the living room.
Okay.
It was just me and her there.
Okay,
How old is it? Answer.
how old is your mother?
62. I can get her on the phone. You know what I'm saying? She don't know how to set up the YouTube thing to get on here. She was supposed to come up here. She was trying to get on here. I just wouldn't talk to her.
Okay. All right, I have other questions. Do you have any further questions?
No.
No, I mean, based upon the observations of the law enforcement officer, and it's his observations, there was, bruising in the throat area around her trachea, and like she said, she was having trouble talking. And so that certainly indicates strangulation. And then she had other bloody areas. So that's the police report.
Y'all argue a lot. I see where you say y'all argue every day.
No, sir. It was all about drugs, sir. It was all about drugs. And this is the first time I've been sober, and I've been in and out of the system for 18 years, man. I've been in and out of the system. I ain't never had no help. And that's what I want to ask y'all. If me and her can't be alone, even if they violate my parole, I probably ain't got, but by the time the paperwork, I didn't have but 2 years on parole. I've been in jail 5.5 months.
Yeah. You got a full-time date in 2 years. Correct.
Yes, sir. So that's 8 months.
All right, we're ready to vote now, okay? I'll vote first. My vote is to revoke. You did plead to the drug charge, and due to the officer's report, I think you're a danger to society. My vote is to revoke.
My vote is to revoke also, and I suggest that you take some anger management classes.
Sir, I got a bed waiting at.
Wait, hold up, we vote.
I concur with Mr. Freeman. My vote is to revoke.
Okay, your parole has been revoked today. We'll be closing out at Grant Parish at 8:57. Okay, good morning. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm going to be the acting chair today. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. We're now at Jefferson Parish Correctional Center for the revocation hearing on Lawrence Miller. Would the staff at Jefferson introduce yourself?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's your
All
name, sir?
right, Deputy Marlboro, Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Deputy Marlboro, y'all had any problems with him since he been in there?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We appreciate y'all
All right.
having.
Let's go.
Okay,
Lawrence Miller?
yeah. Lawrence, state your name and DLC number for the record.
Lawrence Miller Jr., 131680.
Okay. Mr. Miller, we're here today for your revocation hearing. Do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you sign that questionnaire?
Yes, sir.
You realize you're not eligible for appointed counsel. You had to hire counsel if you wanted it today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you wish to proceed without appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Miller. First, we're going to hear from the people that are speaking on your behalf. First is Miss Kiana Howard, your fiance.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Howard,
Yes, good morning.
morning. Tell us what you want us to know about Mr. Miller.
So I'm also the victim in the
Yes,
case.
ma'am.
Yes. And so I just wanted to let the board know that Lawrence has never been violent towards me. When this incident took place, he never struck me, punched me, slapped me, or anything. And I've been saying that since the moment he's been arrested. I've never seen a violent side of Lawrence. And so, I just didn't want to see him get his parole revoked for a crime he didn't commit.
Thank you, ma'am. Board members have any questions for her?
You feel pretty safe with him? Do you guys plan to get back together?
Yes, sir.
And you're safe? You feel safe around?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then we have Justine. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Miss Justine.
It's Justine Cristodoro.
Okay,
So,
tell us what you want us to know about Mr. Miller, please.
I worked with him for just a short period of time as a dishwasher. He worked full time. He was attentive. He was available to do extra duties when needed. He stayed late to complete his job. He took a lot of pride in it and was also very respectful to all the employees and guests that he came in contact with. I really just enjoyed working with him. I would have liked to hire him long term, but this happened.
Okay, will he have his job when he gets out?
It's possible, yes. I mean, it depends if we still need this position when he gets here, but I wouldn't have any objections to hiring.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anyone have any questions?
no.
Okay, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, Mr. Miller, your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. He's gonna read your violations, plead guilty or not guilty, with or without a statement, okay?
Yes, sir.
Morning, Mr. Miller. How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir. How you doing?
Good, good. Rule violation number 4 on 3/26/2025. You were arrested by Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office for domestic violence abuse. On 4/2/2025, the domestic abuse charges were dismissed by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff, Jefferson Parish District Attorney. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement? Or not guilty with a statement?
I'm not sure how I should answer that because I was arrested. So how should I answer not guilty? Because I didn't, like my fiance just said, I never hit her or anything like that. So I wasn't guilty of the crime, but I was arrested. So I'm not sure how should I answer that guilty, not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty with a statement.
Yeah. You're currently $432 in supervision fee arrearment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty?
Guilty with a statement.
Okay, tell us about it.
As Ms. Justine just stated, I recently just started working at LSU Medical School in New Orleans, and I was in the process of trying to get my fees caught up. And I can assure you, once I get out, you know, I have intentions on starting a long care service with my fiance and returning back to work if possible, and I will catch up my fees. But I had only worked at the hospital, at the medical school for like maybe 5 or 6 days.
Okay, tell me about the incident with you and your fiance.
Me and my fiance had a disagreement. I grabbed her phone. We had a struggle over the phone. I strongly apologize and regret my actions that caused this incident to escalate. But I can assure you, I would never do anything to hurt her physically. And it, you know, we tussled over the phone, but we never hit each other, anything like that. The police was called because I left the house with her phone, so she called the police. When I returned to the house to try to talk things out with her, the police arrived, they handcuffed me and brought me to jail. But we never had a fight or anything. We tussled over a phone, that was it.
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions.
I have a question.
I have no questions.
Okay, the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Tillman?
My vote is to do not revoke with conditions, and I think it's good for you to get some anger management classes.
Excuse me, sir, can I speak? Can I say something, please?
Sure.
All right, I had intentions on stating all this, but prior to coming here, I had just started the process of getting mental therapy before coming here with JPHSH.
Mm-hmm.
And my parole officer is aware of this because the guy came to the jail since I've been here to help get the process moving along. And as soon as I get out, I'm going to go back and receive the therapy that I started receiving before I came here.
Okay, good.
So
We'll note that in the records.
okay, thank you very much.
To vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Stapleton?
I concur with Mr. Tillis.
Okay, so, and my vote's also the same, so we're not gonna revoke today. We're gonna reprimand you. You better watch yourself, watch that temper. That's why we ordered an anger management class. If they have anger management at that place that you're going to,
Yes, sir.
that will count, okay?
I can assure you, I will.
I'd rather you go get your mental health taken care of than that class, because we need to get you, you know, make sure that you're steady. All right? So,
All right.
good luck to you, sir.
And thank y'all very much. And I can assure you, I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do.
Board is back in session. We're still at Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. Mr. Thaddeus Harrell, state your name and DLC number.
THADDEUS HARRELL, 437-062.
Okay, Mr. Harrell, you're here today for your revocation hearing. Do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
Yes, sir.
See it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you, is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
So you realize you're not eligible for appointed counsel today. If you wanted it, you would have to hire your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you wish to proceed without appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Howard, first, we're gonna hear from the victim, Latasha.
Yes.
Okay, Latasha, tell us what you want us to know about Mr. Harrell.
This gentleman basically attacked me for no apparent reason. This attack was brought on for what reason, I don't know, and still don't have a legit reason why today. Mr. Harrell was just a basic friend. That was it. No relationship status, no nothing. Mr. Harrell, I had been knowing him from school. We went to school together over 30-something years ago. His father, Thaddeus Sr., was dating the lady who works for my brother. I am a 26-year veteran of the state. I have a disabled brother that I hire staff to work with. And the lady that works with him is Mr. Harrell's father's former girlfriend at that time. And that's how I became in contact with Mr. Harrell again. He gave a birthday party or whatever. A bunch of us went to the party or whatever and stuff. And, we discovered that we knew each other from school. It had been years or whatever since we had saw each other, and all of this. So Mr. Harrell and I had got into an argument or whatever. I don't know if I'm allowed to say or whatever in reference to my child's father or whatever, because they told me not to really bring it up because by him being in law enforcement, it would be detrimental to his life or whatever because of an old situation. Go ahead.
Just state what Mr. Harrell did to you.
Mr. Harrell was told not to come to the hospital on the date in question, which was October 15th of 2024. He called Miss Elizabeth Connerly. She was having emergency surgery. What they did was they decided to change her surgery date. So he called the hospital that morning. By her working for my brother, I had to go up there and get paperwork and some other stuff to bring to the office. So Mr. Harrell called her and pretended to see how she was. And he asked her, he said, "Have you heard from Tasha?" And she said, "Yeah, I talked to Tasha." He said, "Well, I have something for this bitch," because we had got into it on the phone the evening before or whatever and stuff about him fighting people, or whatever. He's aggressive. You understand? This hasn't stopped. So he was told not to come to the hospital, y'all. So when I got up there to the hospital that night or whatever, she told him, she said, "Do not come up there to the hospital because they've changed my surgery date to 3 p.m. and I'm going to." So when I got up there to pick up Mr. Harrell's father and the daughter, which I had been transporting all day to take care of his business. When I got up there, Mr. Harrell was in the room after being told not to come there. So when I walked in the room, I spoke to everybody. His daddy told him, "Well, look, son, let's go downstairs. Let's go get a smoke." He refused to leave the room. He told Miss Keisha, who was in the room at the time, Elizabeth's daughter, to step out of the room. And she said, "Step out of the room for what?" And that's when I replied. I said, "Well, what's she stepping out of the room for?" I said, "Come on, let's go." So he told her to step out of the room again. So when she stepped out of the room and I'm trying to go behind her, he stepped in front of me and closed the door. When he closed the door, I told him, I said, what are you doing? I said, you ain't going nowhere until you hear what I have to tell you. I said, look, I don't have anything to say to you. I said, let me go. I said, I have to go. So he's strong on me. So when he's strong on me, he grabbed me by my arm. He pushed me. If y'all have ever been in a hospital, you know how the hospital rooms are. So when you're leaving the door and I'm like right there by the door, so I'm steady trying to move, but instead of me going forward, it's like he's moving me backwards. So I'm trying to get him off of me. He said, bitch, you ain't going nowhere until you listen to what I have to tell you. I said, look, Thaddeus, let me go. I said, you're going too far with this. And look, myself, I'm never be that little tough man to curse me and disrespect me in that manner. I said, you not no man of mine. You just a friend. What are you doing? You gonna do what the F I tell you to do. And he steady pushing me back, grabbing my arm. So by me being 5'5", 240 pounds at the time, I'm in flip-flops and a dress. And I couldn't get away from him. And I'm telling him, I'm asking him, y'all, to let me go. Let me go. He refusing to let me go. So finally, I ends up over there by the door. He took my Stanley cup out of my hand. I had a Stanley cup in my hand with fresh Coke Zero and ice in it. I'm a bariatric patient, so I have to have my cup with me at all times. He took my cup away from me, put my cup on the zinc, and I'm standing by the door. I'm still trying to fuss with him to get Thaddeus, get off of me. Let me go. Shut your fucking mouth, but people come up in here. And I say, that's what I want him to do. The next thing you know, panel, my head, he had done shoved my head into that bathroom door, and I'm hanging on for dear life. Like I'm hanging on like I'm a piece of cloth, like hanging on to the door. And it must have scared him so bad to where he backed up. My glasses had fell off my face at the time and it hit the floor. So when my glasses fell, and I'm just praying, God, if you just let me get out of here, I can escape this room or whatever, if I can escape. So finally, when he stooped down to get my glasses, he put my glasses, he just shoved them back on my face. And that my footing back because I couldn't feel anything with the way my head hit that door. And I was able to run out. And when I ran out, he tried to run out behind me, and I ran out in the hallway and I was hollering. And that's when everybody in the hallway, the nurses and all started coming out. So when the nurses and all started coming out, and I was like, he attacked me. And I couldn't see, but I'm steady, I'm just shaking my hair out of my face at the time because I was just sweating. So Mr. Harrell comes out. When he comes out, like I said, he's behind me, and I'm against the wall because I'm still a little discombobulated. Right. So when the nurses seen how big he was, because he said, bitch, I ain't did you nothing. I was all kind of BITCHs and this and that. And he told me stay away from his MF and family. And he even went as far as telling me, you introduced me to his penis area and told me to suck that too. So that's when they told him, don't go anywhere. And the lady said, ma'am, you all right? Are you all right? I said, ma'am, I'm just walking along the wall to keep from sliding.
Right.
By the time we got down, sir, to the end of the hallway, they were calling security. Right. Security made it up and they called 911. He was told not to leave. He was told not to leave. I heard them tell him not to leave. They told him not to leave. He took off, went through the elevator and went through the emergency. As soon as you get out the elevator, optional or whatever. Keep in mind, the cameras are broken. When Jefferson Parish went down to retrieve the cameras with everything that happened when he tried to attack me again coming out of the room, the cameras were broken when Jefferson Parish went down to ask them about the cameras. So he escaped out the side door. So they called the police. The police made it up. I was in so much pain. I asked the security guard when they walked me to the room. It was a conference room, like right in the middle on the 4th floor, because the attack happened on the 4th floor in room 436.
I think we read all about the attack. We know everything that he did to you. So, so kind of wrap it up now. Tell it,
Basically, I have been having issues. I don't sleep at night. I have been having issues with my head with, because I don't have medical insurance. I had a concussion. I work with patients, and this is going to affect me with long term because I have to issue medicines. I have to work with patients. I do a lot, and I have been having a lot of issues. I'm not going to lie to you. Mr. Harrell is a danger to society.
Okay,
He's a danger to society. He's been locked up for 13 years for doing the same thing, and he's been home, what, less than 3 months, and then you attack me for no apparent reason. None.
okay,
He's no woman is safe around him.
got you. Okay, we appreciate you coming on and telling us.
Thank you so much.
Wait, but she has one question.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I noticed that the court issued a restitution payment of $2,350. Have you gotten?
No, ma'am. That's the doctor's. That's from the emergency room.
So in other words, he owes you $2,300.
Yes, he owes. Yes, ma'am.
And then secondly, I noticed that you got a protective order that's valid through March 26th of 2030.
The protective order is for him and his whole entire family because it was some threats that had been made on what's going to happen, like if he get out and this and that and so on. It's just been a lot with witness tampering along with his father.
I wanted to make sure that that I read that right, and of course that I mean he's able to listen to everything we're talking about. So so those are two things. Thank you so very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Harrell, your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. Mr. Tillis, you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna read the rules. Good morning, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Okay, I'm gonna read the rule violations that you violated. On or about 11/8/2024, you were arrested by Probations and Parole in New Orleans for a warrant that was issued by the JPSO for simple battery. On 3/26/2025, you pled guilty under JPFF number 24-05655 to simple battery and was sentenced to 6 months in Parish jail. Credit for time served. How do you plead?
I had pleaded guilty.
You plead? Okay, you plead guilty.
With state.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me what it is.
Yes, sir. How you doing? First of all, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, my father, the person she was talking to, that's my stepmom. That's my stepmother. My dad and her are still together. At the time of when that happened, this was merely argument, not no physical altercation, because if I feel if I had did that, I wouldn't have been charged with no simple battery. Because she's saying that she had a concussion. She didn't fall down or said this or had any hickeys or anything like that. And the person I did ask to leave was my stepsister, which is my stepmother's daughter. I asked her to leave so I can talk to her. This was basically merely on a misunderstanding that me and her were just friends. I did let her know that we just friends. I didn't want any relationship because I came, after doing 13 years in a month, I came home. 2 weeks later, I found me a job. I worked from September to the time I was arrested. During that time, I got my driver's license back. I got a bank account. I was able to spend time with my grandkids, spend time with my dad, my stepmama. I haven't seen my grown children yet because at the time my oldest son was locked up. My youngest son is in Denver. I see my daughter. So during that time, I wasn't a threat to anybody. I was never a threat to anybody. I see my parole officer, I comply with everything. Went to work faithfully, Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. I didn't have any problems. Yes, I've been knowing her. We went to elementary school together. I've been knowing her. But she came to our birthday party. Me and my stepmother really not invited. We didn't really invite. She asked to bake a cake. She wanted to bake a cake and she wanted to come. So she really came on her own. We didn't really invite her. which I didn't see any problem at the time. There wasn't a problem. After the party, we had a talk. We had a conversation. We talked. She asked me about if I was dating anybody. I said, no, not at the time, I'm not dating anybody. But I said, you know, I'm just keeping it friends because I'm doing well. I'm doing well at that time. I'm doing well. At that time, I was about to purchase a car for my own. But I came to jail because I didn't. That's the reason why I didn't purchase the car. So, yes, there was an argument. I will take full responsibility for the argument. There was inappropriate behavior with words. Yes, I said some things. I didn't threaten her or anything like that. I was just really upset about the fact that, you know, you wanted something that I told you I didn't want. And that wasn't the reason. I didn't want the relationship anymore because I just came home trying to get myself together, trying to get back in my children's life. My dad has cancer now. He has cancer. He has cancer. I've been really the only one that he be around the most. I go check on my dad. During the time of all that, I check on my dad. Okay? But sincerely, I am wrong for the verbal altercation, but I'll be honest with you. If I had physically hit her, I wouldn't have been charged with no simple battery. And I wouldn't have been charged with no simple battery. I would have been charged with something way serious than that. Also, my dad was at court. My stepsister was supposed to come at the time, but at that time now, my stepmama takes care of her brother. My stepmama works for the state. She doesn't work for us, she works for the state. They have a shift together. She takes on the shift, my stepmama takes on the shift. Her brother be at my stepmama's house. Okay, that's where he be at. Reason why they didn't come because they didn't want to compromise my stepmama's job because she gave her alternative. Because that fact, because we all family. That's still my stepmother. We still family. They are still together.
Okay.
You know,
Come on, get to the point. Okay. So
get
the
to the point
is
of
what?
Huh?
Get to the point. What's the point you're trying to make?
The point I'm trying to say is this whole situation was really merely a misunderstanding. This was not about no physical altercation. This was about not trying to hurt anybody. We just didn't agree on certain things. We didn't agree about being in a relationship. I didn't want to be in a relationship with her. I wasn't trying to be in a relationship with her.
Well, let me ask you this. So you did talk to her. You asked to speak with her when you were in the hospital. You closed the door and kept her in.
I asked to speak to her. I didn't try to make her. I asked to speak to her. She didn't go nowhere. I asked her to come and she came back in the room. I asked her, why did you tell my dad why did you bring this situation to my dad? This is me and you. This is not about telling my dad this and that. What could they tell us? What could he tell me? This was our business. And furthermore, we just friends.
Yeah, so you didn't push her down.
I did not push. If I had pushed her down, believe me, if I would have pushed her down, believe me, it wouldn't have been just that. I didn't do that. I did not push her down.
Did she accidentally fall down?
She didn't even fall down. She didn't fall down at all.
Okay, I have no more questions.
You are aware that right after that incident, she did go right directly to the emergency room, and they did find that she had a concussion, and they treated her for that. So that does back up the statement that she made, that her head was hit against the wall. She did not, it wasn't like 2 or 3 days later, it was immediately afterward. So that's what probable cause is found in the hearing based upon the findings of the emergency room that she had a concussion with loss of consciousness because she was a victim of an assault.
Okay, she was nearly upset. But this is the thing. She left the same night she was in the ER. That's what I found out from my dad. She came back the next morning to see my mom and to go pick up my mom and dad. And yes, that's just what I wanted to say. My dad and stepmom did not tell me not to come to the hospital. They asked me, was I coming? And I said, yes, I'm coming. When I get off from work, I will be there. Reason why my dad don't know how to use the phone too much. He's not here to tell
Well,
y'all
I'm
that.
just saying that what she says is backed up and documented by the immediate emergency room visit that did say she had a concussion. So that's all I've got.
Okay, I have no further questions. The panel ready to vote?
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Tillis?
my vote is to revoke and, that's it.
Okay, I concur with Mr. Tillis to revoke, and I'd like to just make note that she does have a protective order against you. And I think she said your family, but I did say it against you, till March 26, 2030. So don't call her, nothing. Stay away from her, because that's gonna put you right back in jail for another charge. Another thing is, it's a court-ordered, restitution payment of $2,350. So if you've forgotten about that, I want to remind you about that. Stay away from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I concur with my colleagues. I find you violated condition number 4 as evident by your plea of guilty to simple battery. So, your parole's been revoked today. I know, I'm sure you realize your good time date's right around the corner. So you'll probably be getting right back out. So please remember that protective order and stay away from her. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Real quick.
When you say revoked, you mean I gotta back up all the time on my parole, or is it a technical violation?
No, it's revoked, but you won't back up all of your time. You'll still get another date and you'll be eligible for parole again.
So, I mean, no technical violation. I mean, I'm being honest, I didn't hit her.
No, it's not technical. You pled guilty to simple battery, and it started out as so that's what y'all, I don't know where y'all coming. You can't plead guilty to a charge and think it's not going to be a violation of your parole. Whether it's a misdemeanor or not, it's still a violation of your parole. So today your parole's been revoked. We're closing out at Jefferson Parish at 9:41.
But he did say you're coming up on
Good morning. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm going to be the acting chair today. To my left is Mr. Tillis. To my right is Ms. Stapleton. We're now at the Orleans Justice Center to hear the revocation hearing of Jeremiah Preston. Jeremiah, please state your name and DOC number for the record.
Good morning, my name is Jeremiah Preston. DOC number is 744-382.
Okay, that's what we got. Okay, Mr. Preston, today you're here for your revocation hearing. Do you have your parole questionnaire with you?
No, sir. Nobody's in here with me.
Okay, we're gonna put a form up on the screen and you tell me if that's your signature at the bottom.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Sir.
Of course, I thought he said no, sir.
That is your signature? Okay, thank you. Okay, so first, we're gonna hear from your mother speaking on your behalf. So, Miss Clotesia Sweeney. Tell us what you have to say, ma'am. Miss Sweeney, can you hear me? Miss Sweeney, can you hear us? Unmute your phone, please. Hang on 1 second. We're gonna try to give your mother a phone call.
Okay, that's all right. So sorry for humbly apologize this morning.
That's fine, Miss Sweeney. I have trouble with these devices myself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so tell me what you want us to know about your son.
Yes, sir. Raise my son the right way. He's a good young man. He has an empathy and a compassionate heart. He cares for others. He will give you the shirt off his back. I raised him up in a church the right way. I was a single parent. And I did everything, that I could for my kids to make sure that they go the right direction. But I know that sometimes in life, you can choose the wrong people. Let me just say that. And that can deter your life a little bit, but then you come back, you fall on track. But my son, he's a caring person. And he would do anything for you. He's very memorable and he's very respectful. I can say that much about him. And there's nothing that he would not do. As far as what he's going through right now, if I could take it from him, I would, but I know that I can't. But can y'all please just give him another chance to get it right. Give him another chance to get a job again like he had and work hard. Because what he did, he had a job, he was working hard. That's what he did. He went to work, went back home. Went to work, went back home. That's what he did. I'm just asking you, from the bottom of my heart, because I know my son, because I had him. I know what he's capable of. I know what he can do. And I know what type of man that I raise a loving and caring and empathy and compassion, man that he is today. Thank you for allowing me just to talk on his behalf. And if there's anything else that you need me to say towards my son and for my son, I am willing.
Okay.
I am willing.
Thank you very much. He's lucky to have you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Preston, your case has been assigned to me. Can be assigned to me.
Got it, son.
Okay, it has been assigned to me. So let's see.
How are you doing this morning, Mr. Preston?
Oh, I'm good, man. Good morning.
Yeah, could you tell us what happened?
All right,
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll read the
I
charge.
got it right
You
now.
got it? Okay.
Yep, yep. Excuse me, Mr. Preston, I was a little bit behind here. I didn't realize this case was mine. Okay, it is alleged that you violated condition number 2. Still, you got it?
You failed to
Got it right
report to probations and parole from February 2024, August 2024. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty, and I would like to say something why I didn't, check it.
Okay,
Well,
go ahead. I found all of my worksheet now. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ms. Tillis. Okay, so tell us why you didn't report.
All right, when I was released, I did 18 months in Jefferson Parish, and then on my last 3 months, they end up, shipping me to a satellite camp that was Callahoola. Keep in mind, this is my first time, going up the road. So, all right, so within the 3 months of me being at Callahoola, that paper that I had signed showing me when you get out, who your parole officer is, where to check in at, and what's her name.
Correct.
What you said?
I said correct. I understand what you're talking about. Okay.
Right. So when I signed that paper before me getting shipped to California for my last 3 months, when I made it there within them 3 months that I had left before I was able to get released, we had got shut down a good 5 to 6 times. So that's a good 2 times every month that I was there for the last 3 months. They'll bring us on the big yard. While we on the big yard, they in the tip, shaking us down, just basically going through everything. So people legal work got mixed up, people commissary got mixed up, people couldn't find their phone numbers and their paperwork. So that paper that I had signed showing where with the address of where I was gonna stay at, when I came back to the city, I couldn't find that paper. But when I never been on parole before, I've been on probation. But I knew when I came home, the house that I had, I no longer had. Because I had done 21 months. So
So
I lost.
your sister's house.
Yes, sir. So I was homeless. I lost it. I lost everything I had and I lost my crib. So I ended up staying with my sister, but she's not my real sister. She stays in the cold apartments in the east. Current Road, 51, 1051 Current Road. So I went there. Keep in mind, when they released me from Callahoola, that was supposed to be released January the 19th, but I didn't get out till January the 21st because Callahoola had me sitting for a detainer. They were trying to see was Arlene going to come get me because I had an old open charge that never got, reconciled.
Right.
They transferred me to Arlene. When I got to Arlene, I went to go see my judge in Section K. He was like, you wanted to see me. He basically wanted to know why I ain't never come to court. And I was like, I ain't never come to court because I was still incarcerated at the time. He's like, well, look, I'm about to lift the detainer. Just keep coming to court every month. So from January 29th, when I got officially released out of Arlene's jail, I'm going to court every month. I wasn't missing court. You check you can check the paperwork. I wasn't missing court.
Yeah, I read the whole report. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really concerned about that charge that much.
Yes, sir.
Because there was a lot of confusion where you were staying and stuff like that. And also you were going to court. I read all of that. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. Condition number 4, you were arrested by the New Orleans Police Department on August 18, 2024, and placed into the Orleans Justice Center for the following pending charges: the domestic abuse involving strangulation, domestic abuse child endangerment law, and a parole violation. On 3/20/25, domestic child abuse law count 1 was amended, and you pled guilty to domestic abuse battery, where you were sentenced to 6 months in the Orleans Justice Center. All of the other charges were dropped. So how do you plead to that charge?
Honestly, sir, after fighting that, I was just tired of sitting. I knew I knew they wasn't gonna let me get away scot-free, even though I didn't get what I was accused of. They hit me with domestic strangulation, and they knew that was false, so they dropped it, they dismissed that. They was trying to, they was trying to give me the domestic abuse child endangerment, I'm like, no, I'm not about to take that felony, knowing I didn't endanger nobody's child. Keep in mind, when I came home, I got a job doing security.
Understand that, but did you plead guilty to the domestic abuse?
I plead guilty to it.
Realize that that would violate your probation, your parole?
I was unaware that a misdemeanor would violate my parole. If I knew that, I would have fought it to the ends of the earth.
All right, well, I hate to tell you, but that's what you should have done. I have no further questions.
Your girlfriend, tell me about that. What's going on with you and your girlfriend?
Really, while I've been in there, she done left me, got with a new dude, left, moved out of the crib that we got together, that both our names was on the lease on, and basically, I feel like she did that just to, get me out the way. Cause it seemed like as soon as I came to jail, she cut me off, but, she rolled the affidavit, she said she wasn't, I didn't do the charge, she talked to my parole officer when I got arrested and stuff, and I finally did, come and be able to see my parole officer, and she told me, she gave me a call to let me know who she was, and she asked me why I never come see her, and I was like, honestly, ma'am, I didn't know who you was, I didn't know where to find you at, I never been on parole before, and the address that you had on file, I could no longer stay there. So
Okay.
I wasn't hiding from you, but I was like, the charges that, I'm like, my charter was just really mad at me.
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions.
I got one thing. I want to pass it by you that because of this plea, there's a strong possibility, I'm not sure, but I read in there that there's a protective order against you. I don't know if it's still in effect, but you need to know, you stay away from this lady.
After,
Don't call her nothing.
I haven't been called while I've been here, and I feel like anybody that put charges on you after that, I don't want
But
to.
that's gonna, I'm just telling you, if there's a protective order in place, that will be another violation and that'll put you right back in jail. So no contact.
No contact. I understand that for sure.
Okay, is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Preston, unfortunately, you did plead guilty and didn't try to go to trial. So today, I find you in violation of condition number 4 and revoke your parole.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
I concur with Mr. Freeman, and I'll add again, no contact with the victim.
Okay. And we'll close out at the Justice Center at 10 o'clock. Okay, the parole board's called back to order. We're now at Morehouse Parish Jail. With the people at Morehouse, you have anybody in there with you? Or you by yourself?
By myself.
Okay. State your name and DOC number for the record.
Derrick Smith, 538712.
Okay, Derrick, today we're here for a revocation hearing on your parole. Do you have a parole questionnaire with you?
No, sir.
Okay, we're gonna put one on the board. Tell me, is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're not eligible for appointed counsel today? If you wanted counsel, you'd have to hire it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you want to proceed today without appointed counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so first we're gonna hear from Agent Mark Hopkins. Agent Hopkins? Hang on just a second. We're having a little difficulty getting in touch with him. Okay. I tell you what, we're gonna go on and read your violations, and then we'll let Mr. Hopkins speak after we read your violations. Ms. Stapleton has been assigned your case. Want me to read his violation? Okay, I'm gonna read your violations.
Right here,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, rule violations, number 4, you engaged in criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest on 2/10/2024 for aggravated battery of a dating partner, strangulation, and second-degree rape / vaginal. On 9/5/24, the courts held a probable cause hearing, and probable cause was found for the charge of battery on a dating partner, but did not find probable cause for the charge of second-degree rape. The charges were dismissed by the district attorney's office on 3/31/2025 as the victim would not cooperate with the district attorney's office, and the victim requested the charges be dropped. Number 10, you are in arrears of $168 when you were arrested. Currently, your arrears are $1,050 as of 4/1/25. And you have the right to plead guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement of number 4, your dating partner.
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay, what is it?
That came from me and my girlfriend arguing, and I broke up with her and kicked her out. And she's high on methamphetamines, and I'm not sure if y'all have a history of dealing with people on meth, but they go through delusions. She made up that whole story about me choking her and stuff. It was all part of a delusion in her head from her meth use. Like, only thing I can ask is y'all see that I didn't get convicted of the charge or anything. Just please have mercy on me for that. Like, it's not in my character to abuse women and stuff. That's not something I've ever done. That's not something I ever will do. It's just not me.
Okay, so that's your statement. You didn't do it. Okay, so number 10, but now they just dropped the charge of the rape. They didn't drop the charge of the domestic abuse battery.
Yes, ma'am. They dropped both of them.
Oh, it was well, everything was dismissed. Excuse me. All right, so the district attorney did that. All right, now the arrears, $1,000.
I could pay it if I get out. I understand if y'all give me a 90-day technical violation or something for that. I do understand. if you ask Mark, he'll tell you like the little money I did have while I was out there, I paid him. I was just struggling from job to job. I mean, Bastrop, we're pretty much unemployed here.
All right, well, that's your rule violations. We're gonna let Agent Hopkins speak now.
No, you can go. It's Agent Hopkins.
Yeah, he's on the.
Okay, Agent Hopkins, could you, add some information to this?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The basics that I wanted to add is when he went to court, all the charges were dropped because of the uncooperation of the alleged victim.
Right.
They couldn't hold a trial with her not cooperating. But I do want to point out that back September 5th of 2024, they did have a preliminary exam in court and did find probable cause to proceed to trial on the domestic charge.
Do you have any questions?
What I want to tell you is I want to tell you what a good job you did on your report. All y'all do a wonderful job, but I mean, you made sure that we had the report, we had the audio recording, the pictures, and so that's worth a lot when you're, especially with the domestic violence cases, because a lot of times there are people we can't because they're frightened or whatever. But when we have that kind of information, it means a lot. And I know that you work hard to get that for us. So I want to thank you.
So what
Yes,
kind of
sir.
guy, can you tell us something about his character since you've been dealing with him?
Well, I only supervised him for about 5 months. We had to put him in jail one time for a technical for 7 days because he couldn't charge his GPS to verify that he was keeping his curfew. So me and the district administrator had to go out and put him in jail for 7 days for that. But other than that, I mean, he worked a couple of different jobs. He was living in a mobile home, a little camper trailer behind an uncle's house. I mean, just basically no major problems until this arose.
Okay, did you speak to the victim? I mean, earlier, that was the officer that questioned her.
That was the officer that questioned her, and the recorded statement was taken by the officer that
Correct.
night of the occurrence.
Heard the recorded statement.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate your the job you do.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Callan, questions?
Okay. Well, you know that we have pictures. The deputy White, he took pictures. He did a great job with his interview and all the backup information that he got. So we have pictures of her neck, and she said that you commonly strangle her. That's something that you do.
It's something that she's admitted that she's lied about. Like
We can see the bruise marks around her neck. The pictures have the bruise marks around her neck.
I'm pretty sure she did it to herself or something. Like the girl was high on methamphetamine.
Okay, so while we were listening to the auditory, she was very frightened of you. And that you sent her text that you were going to kill her whole family. Things like that. So she has text of that. What about that?
She don't have that. Like it's all part of her delusions in her head from her drug use. I'm telling you, like I have multiple people here in this jail that can tell you that the girl is crazy. The staff of this jail can tell you that.
Why did you stay with her?
Because I've been with her since I was 10 years old, and I came home from prison and she was like this. Like she's never been like this before. But I just did 7 years in prison, and when I come home, I seen her. She was on the needle and stuff, and I've read a bunch since I've been in jail about drug use and stuff like that, and I know that 98% of people that get on needles don't come back from that. But my loyalty and everything with her and the history we have since I was 10 years old. That's 25 years. I just didn't want to throw it away. And she's accused me of all kind of stuff before, and she's told me she was gonna call the police on me. She just never did, so I never thought she would. Like,
Well, so she was saying you're on drugs and that you're bringing drugs in the house. So you're not on drugs?
no, ma'am, I don't do drugs. I mean, I've
Okay.
never failed my drug test or nothing, ma'am.
Where do you plan to live if you're released?
I have my own place. It's on my uncle's property.
Do you plan to stay in a relationship with her?
Oh, no, sir, not. I can't, because if something like this happens again, I mean, it jeopardizes my freedom. Even though I still love her today, and like I've seen her a couple of times, and I've got emotional when I seen her, but it's my freedom is at stake here, and that's something I value a lot because y'all see my record. I've been in prison most of my life. This really hurts right here. Just being in here innocent. This is one of the only times I've been in here innocent like this. I've never had to deal with something like this until I messed up. It hurts, and I can't let her do that to me no more.
Okay, according to the rules, you're not supposed to be around anybody who is using drugs and stuff. You do know that, huh?
Yes, sir.
I see. I have no more questions.
Okay, what about the statement that, some of your neighbors and stuff saw you with an AK walking in the middle of the street?
Nobody's ever seen me with that. That was something that she said.
He says a lot, huh?
I'm telling you, if you listen to her statement for 13 minutes straight, she just rambles on from subject to subject of all kind of crazy stuff. That I was trying to take my uncle's house from him and just all kind of crazy just delusion. If you listen to it, sir, you'll see it's clearly delusions. She even says that she suffers from brain damage on there.
Okay, let's see, I don't think I have any other questions. Anybody else have any more other
I have
questions?
no more questions.
I move for the executive session.
I second.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Stapleton? Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session for a minute, so just hold tight, okay?
Yes, sir. Well, this is the day I find out what's going on. Crazy how she can admit to that she lied and they're still using this statement against me.
Okay, the parole board's back in session. It's 10:22. Would you call roll, please?
Freeman.
Yes.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Okay, we've come to discuss our confidential matters. Now we're ready to vote. Ms. Stapleton?
I'm going to vote to revoke you today, that you're in violation of rule number 4. And it was, battery on a dating partner.
Okay, Mr. Tiller?
I concur with Ms. Stapleton.
I also find you in violation of condition number 4 as evidenced by the marks on her and the statements from, law enforcement and her. So today your parole has been revoked. We'll close out at Morehouse at 10:23.
I'm just fixing your finance affair. I think that's faith in you and Sam, I don't have faith in you.
Okay, the parole board's called back to order. Time is 10:34. We're now at Rayburn Correctional Center to hear the parole hearing on TRACY MCMOOAIN. Would the staff at Rayburn please introduce yourself?
Keith Bickham, Deputy Warden.
Carolyn Thomas, Record Supervisor. Tracy
Oh.
Taylor, Specifications.
Okay, and I see we have a guest there with us. Would you please introduce yourself, ma'am?
Audrey Clark.
Audrey Clark,
What's her relationship to the inmate?
mother.
Mother. Okay, Ms. Clark, are you gonna want to speak today? We don't have you down, but are you gonna want to speak on his behalf?
She says you can, yes.
Okay. All right. So, we're here for the, like I say, the parole hearing on, Mr. McMoon. I don't know how you pronounce your last name, sir, but please state your name and DOC number for the record.
Name, Tracy McMoOAIN, DOC number 329366.
Okay. Mr. McMoOAIN, you are here today for your parole hearing. You had a parole date of 7/15/22. You have a good time date of 10/29/35 and a full term date of 10/23/36. You were serving what was left of your sentence at time of revocation, 15 years, 9 months, and 11 days. Does that information for the offense of possession of cocaine habitual? Does that information sound correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. McMoOAIN, tell me, why should we consider letting you out today? And what you've done since you've been in there to get you ready to get out? And also, what did you do to get yourself put back in prison?
I take full responsibility of my action on January the 14th by putting my hands on the victim, Miss Destiny Wilson. I take accountability to get to the root of my problem as alcohol and drug addiction, along with my anger issue. Since then, I have participated in self-help programs to better myself and become a better person. I'm in here for domestic violence. I come to realize in victim awareness that the victim that I have on was not only the victim. There's others, such as Ms. Wilson, her kids, my family, my parents, my kids, my grandkids, and my community. I take responsibility of my behavior as what I have done to the victim. And I pray and hope that she will forgive me of my behavior and find in her heart to forgive me. I will continue to take self-help programs to better myself and become a better person in society.
What was her name?
Miss Destiny Wilson.
Okay. Okay, what class did you like the most? Well, first off, does your mother want to say anything? Want to say anything on his behalf? She doesn't have to. It's up to her.
Well, the only thing I can say that they, you know, sometimes they get into it and stuff, but most of the time they work it out sometimes. They did pretty good. Once he got his little job, he really did good. Once he got his little job.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate it. Okay, your case has been assigned to me, Mr. McMoon, and I'll be asking you the questions. So what class you took that you liked the most? Tell me which one you got the most benefit out of.
That, the victim awareness. I really didn't know the harm that I had did to people in that until victim awareness. Now, I'm a mentor of that class. What I get from victim impact, I bring it to the guys who coming in under this victim awareness. I really didn't know the harm that I had. Even with my kids, my step kids, the victim kids, when they come to see me, they telling me they miss me so much that hurts. And I regret that I put them through that.
So you still with Miss Wilson?
No, sir. But she bring the kids to see me.
So she still comes see you?
She bring, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. What is gonna be your sobriety plan if you let out? How you gonna stay sober?
I'm gonna continue going to AA, NA, and sign up for anger management and victim awareness. And get me a sponsor. Last time I got out, I didn't do these things. My addiction had me thinking I can do it on my own. This time I come to realize I need help, and I need sponsors to really, and my support group, family, friends, and these programs and these groups that keep me going.
Okay. Have you ever been in inpatient treatment? Have you ever had any long inpatient treatment?
I think in the 90s I was in the Odyssey House.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the Odyssey House. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, I was in Odyssey for Esplanade and all the time too.
Yes, I know exactly where you're talking about. Okay. And I wanted to ask you about it. How long have you been in this time? Since your revocation, how long have you served?
4 years, getting close to 5.
Yeah, that's what I had down, 5 years. And you're 60 years old?
May 27, I'll be 60 years old, sir.
Yeah. You know, you're getting too old to be in jail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I would not put myself in no high-risk situation again to bring myself back to this incarceration.
Ask you something. Would you be willing to go to inpatient treatment through DOC as a condition of your release?
Yes, sir. I can get out of here. Yes, sir.
Okay. But you gonna sit on the front row and try to get something out the class?
Yes, sir. It's gonna benefit me.
Yeah, it definitely will benefit you, and that's what I wanted to hear from you. Okay, I have no further questions.
Warren have to say about it.
Ward, do you have any comments, Mr. Bickham? I'm sorry.
That's all right. Tracy's pretty much covered everything that I was gonna bring. I interviewed him yesterday and we talked about it, but he was worked in our compassionate care program until we made him a trustee. He's on the road crew trustees, which is the next highest level trustee we have. And even with that no longer being his job, he still comes back and does compassionate care in the dorm with some of the older guys.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions. Anybody have any questions?
I was just wondering, so your drug of choice was crack cocaine, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very hard drug to kick. So when you get out, and you never have gone to AA or NA meetings before when you were outside. Is that correct? All these years?
Yes, ma'am. I used to go to AA. I was a patient on Carey Street in Slidell. Outpatient.
Okay. And then you quit going and then you slid back into the drug.
Yes, ma'am.
And the lady that you were with, she was pregnant at the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Charges came. She had the baby?
Yes, ma'am. 4-year-old son.
Okay.
Is that your child?
Yes, sir.
So she goes to a business, you brings the children.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Well, he gave a good suggestion for you, so I agree with what he suggested.
Okay, panel, ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna vote first. Okay, I'm quit trying to pronounce your name, Mr. Tracy. We're gonna, my vote today is that I am gonna grant you conditionally on you completing a long-term inpatient substance abuse program through DOC. That program will probably be 6 to 9 months. It's got to be done within 9 months, and after you complete that program, you'll be released. Okay? Upon release, I want you to have a 9 to 10 curfew, 9 at night to 6 a.m. in the morning. And I also want you to attend 3 AA meetings a week and follow any recommendation from the treatment center. I want to tell you, if they send you to Steve Hall, they also have domestic violence classes there. And I recommend that you take that also. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's my vote today, but I'm just one vote. Mr. Tiller
My vote is to grant, and I concur with Mr. Freeman.
and Ms. State.
And my vote is to grant, and I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, look, bud, it's probably your last shot. I mean, you've been around the block a few times. It's time to stay out. I mean, and all you charge is for 3 or 4 rocks, and you know it's not a major amount. So sit on the front row, get what you can, you know, and keep that addiction under control. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we are closing out at Rayburn at 10:46. Thank you, Ward.
All right, Mr. P, y'all take care.
All patience.
Yes, we can get you a spot.